Hey, what's up guys, welcome back to another video and welcome back to my channel. So in this video I'm gonna be talking about the best optimized settings for Battlefield 6, and if you are barely passing the minimum requirements of the game, then you're in the correct video, because I'm gonna be talking about the most optimized settings you can apply in Battlefield 6 to keep the visual clarity and quality intact, and with it you're gonna get good FPS boost. Watch the full video and we're gonna be doing the comparison of the old settings and the new optimized settings. So here we are in the settings tab, graphics settings tab of Battlefield 6. So if you think that you're gonna put everything into low using the low preset just like I did here, you're gonna get good FPS, but your game will look really bad. So if you want the best settings, there are some tweaks you can do. First, set it to custom, okay, and then let's start with the texture. Let's go back a bit. Okay, let's go back a bit. The world brightness, UI brightness, sharpness, it's up to your personal preference. Okay, I don't have anything to say in that thing. In the advanced settings, the first important setting is the fixed resolution scale. So this is what it's set to 100%, meaning that if you have a 1920 by 1080p monitor, it's gonna use that resolution to display the game. I recommend keep it 100%. The game will look good. The frame limiter, this is important because if your frame rate is very fluctuating, you're having stuttering issues, you can just use the frame limiter in game and fix it to the FPS that you're getting on average. Okay, for example, if you are gaming and here are the FPS display in the game, so if you're getting on an average around, let's say 50 FPS, let's say, so put the frame rate limiter to 50, just like this. So if you're getting any drops, if you have this uncapped, cap it to 50 and the stuttering would be it's gonna be fixed almost. So the next thing is the frame rate limiter in menu. I recommend turning it on because when you're in the menu, you don't need to utilize your hardware fully. So just put your frame limiter on and set it to 60% in menu so that you don't waste your graphics performance. AMD anti-lag. I have a AMD graphics card right now, so it is set to AMD anti-lag, but if you have an NVIDIA graphics card, it's gonna be NVIDIA Reflex. So put NVIDIA Reflex to enable or enable pulse boost. And my recommendation is that if you're GPU limited, for example, if you have a bad GPU than the CPU, then put the NVIDIA Reflex to enable, or if you're CPU limited, then put it on enable plus boost. Anti-aliasing basically removes any jagged outlines of the graphics you see on the screen. So you can put it to TAA. Okay, it's the basic most anti-aliasing, but your game will look really blurry. So if you have for example, NVIDIA graphics card, then you can use DLAA, okay, which is anti-aliasing for NVIDIA cards, but it doesn't support in all GPUs. Or if you're in AMD, you can use AMD FSR native AA, and if you're in Intel, you can use XeSS native AA as well. Upscaling technique is, I have an AMD card, so I have FSR. Use FSR quality, okay, because if you don't use quality, if you're gonna go to balance or performance, your game will look really bad. Okay, just use FSR quality. It's okay, it's really nice. If you want to use XeSS, which is Intel's upscaling quality, you can use that quality, and if you have NVIDIA, you can use DLSS into quality. Frame generation, so this is not that great. You're gonna get a good FPS jump using the frame generation, but I don't like it. These two, future frame rendering and FSR, frame generation, it creates input lag. So my recommendation is turn it off. So next we're gonna go to field of view. My recommendation is use 120. Field of view doesn't affect performance. Weapon motion blur and world motion blur, turn this off. Camera shake amount, turn this to complete to the lowest, and reduce sprint camera bobbing, turn this on as well. Turn these 3 settings off as well. It increases visibility. Display mode, I am using borderless right now because I'm recording, but if you don't record using OBS Studio or any other such software, set this to full screen. Okay, it's gonna reduce the input lag and it's gonna improve the frame rate stability. Full screen resolution, if you're watching this video, we are obviously on 1080p, so set it on 1080p or your monitor's resolution. Aspect ratio, set it on auto, it doesn't matter. Vertical sync, turn this off. Now we're gonna get into the good stuff, which is the graphics quality settings. Okay, set it to custom overall. Okay, texture quality, if you have less VRAM on your GPU, set it to high. I won't recommend setting it to low because it doesn't look that good. But if you're in 4 GB VRAM, for example, then you can set it to low. Other than that, set it to high. Okay, texture filtering, set it to ultra. Okay, texture filtering, set it to ultra because here's the complete explanation. Like, it doesn't affect your graphics card or CPU or VRAM that much, and you're gonna get good FPS. Okay, almost free FPS without any performance loss. Mesh quality, so what this setting does is it improves the details of objects in a distance. For example, if there is a tree in the distance and your view distance is set to very high, then if you set it to low, in that situation the tree will just look like a blob of mess, it won't look that good. And if you go near it, it will suddenly pop onto your screen, and then you're gonna be able to see the leaves and stuff. I recommend it to set it to medium. Okay, because if you're going completely low, then it doesn't look that good. I recommend setting it to medium. That's the sweet spot. Terrain quality, if you're setting high, medium, low, there's very little visual difference, so set it to low. Undergrowth quality is actually the grass, on the ground. You can set it to low as well. It improves the visibility, so if somebody's proning, you can see him easily if you set it to low. Effects quality, set it to low. Effects quality is basically the explosion and stuff. Like, if, for example, if there is a huge explosion, it improves the details of the explosion, and it really consumes GPU and CPU, so I don't recommend turning it so high. Set it to low as well. Volumetric quality, it's very GPU intensive setting, so set it to low as well. Lighting quality, you can go to low. You can set it to high if you have enough VRAM to spare, because if you can see here, CPU requirements and GPU requirements are very low for this setting. You can go to, but the VRAM high is you need good amount of VRAM, so just check between these two low and high settings, try both of this, and if you're finding that very little visual difference is there, then set it to low. Okay, if you want the FPS. Local shadows, you can set it to low as well. Shadow sun quality, okay, this one makes difference. This one makes a huge amount of difference. Don't set it too low because it looks really bad. My recommendation is set it to high, but if you want to go low, then go to medium, not that much, because you can see how it changes. Okay, reflections, I recommend setting it to low because you won't notice any of it. Okay, during the gameplay you won't notice the visual quality, but if you're gonna get 3 FPS, so yeah, set it to low. Screen space reflections, turn it low. If you want really good FPS, turn it to off. It's gonna make a huge difference in FPS. Post processing, turn it to low. Actually, what it does is it disables extra cinematic effects, and if you set it to low, you can get a cleaner image, and which improves visibility. Screen space, AO and GI, basically the ambient occlusion, you can set it to Gato low. Sorry, not Gato, GTAO low. Let's stop it right there. I just want to make a correction that I just told you to turn that on and set it to low. Just turn it off completely. It doesn't matter at all. Turn it off. Let's go back to the video again. And high fidelity objects amount, if you're really CPU limited, it really requires huge amount of CPU, set it to medium. If you guys use the optimized settings rather than putting everything on low, your game first of all will look better with a very minimal cost in performance, and you're gonna be able to enjoy, because this is a good looking game. Okay, and it looks good on low, but after tweaking some settings with minimal loss in FPS, you can make your game look better and improve the clarity of the game, and with a very minimal cost in FPS. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm gonna be bringing more Battlefield 6 content and many more in the future, so if you guys wanna watch those videos, please subscribe and like the video and share it with your friends. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.